This show is brought to you by Directory.com, the safest way to hire a contractor.
And we are back. To be honest with you, I'm tired of my coffee. I switched to juice. Another thing to drink on Saturday morning. All right. Our last story is how to fix a rushed renovation. This next story is a very common scenario. Homeowner hired a contractor for major renovations and he rushed to finish it. The mistakes were obvious. The front porch was botched, holes drilled in the stone for a railing, cracked and broken stones, pieces fallen off. Inside the house, paint was missed in several places, nails were popping out of wood, and there was torn, unpainted drywall behind the fridge. When the homeowner brought it up, the contractor admitted the porch was a mess, but shrugged it off and asked, "What do you want me to do about it?" What a professional. Questions. What should the homeowner do in this situation? Do they have any legal options? Looks like we have just a lot of touch-up items, and I do see this problem in the industry too. So people focus on the big items, and finishing jobs sometimes getting hard. How should contractors handle this type of situations? And is there any excuses with the rush, details, rush jobs? I know, like actually earlier, Randy mentioned, he said that sometimes when homeowners look at a brand new job, they notice something that might be there before, but now, and I actually experienced it many, many times myself. When you do the final walk, people start paying attention to even old stuff. Like, if you just did a brand new flooring job, people will be like, "Oh, my floor is just squeaky." It's not like they were not squeaky before. It's you just notice it now, right? But overall, touch-up items, when contractors just going through everything super fast, we all have seen it. We all have seen, painting jobs or drywall jobs with a 180 pieces of blue tape after the fact, right? How do you deal with it? I mean, I love this contractor. What do you want me to do about it? How about fixing it? What do you guys do in those situations?
I think it
Clearly.
comes down to
Go ahead,
with what
John.
Brad Lee says is cheap, good, fast. Pick two, right? That's kind of what
That's a good
this
one.
is here.
That's a good one.
Yeah. I mean, at the end of the day, he should have said what he said. Is it a small punch list? Is it a big punch list? Like you got cracked stones, pieces are falling off. It sounds like that there's a lot that needs to be redone. So the homeowner in this situation, I think this is a conundrum because it depends on how the contract is written. I would probably start looking at hiring somebody to inspect it at least, and just kind of just or ask them if we could hire a third party to come in and inspect it. If the homeowner's not happy and the contractor now kind of has an attitude, is what it feels like. What do you want me to do about it? Like that's not a good thing either. So
It's a great point. I think the key here is how do we pay people? Because if you pay them per job, then touch up breaks, stuff like that. It's part of the job. But if you pay hourly, like I'll give you one example. Years ago, I did when I had my flooring business, I did a per piece, like very cheap tile work. So it was an apartment out of town, like 1,000 square feet. So I laid a lot of tiles, and there was a kitchen backsplash. I installed cabinets. I mean, the whole thing was like 10 grand. Took me a couple of weekends. So when I finished everything, the homeowner, I guess they were getting new fridge, so they gave me touch-up items too, and I gave them extremely cheap price, like $1.50 a foot to install tiles. So they one of the items, for example, on the touch-up list was broken tile under the fridge. So I'm like, obviously I did not break it. Like you don't lay down broken tile. And I know the fridge was changed to the new one. So you move away old fridge, you put a new one in, and now there's a crack under the fridge. I can fix it, but and we actually have agreement for some work. I was getting paid like 20. It was like 15 years ago. I was getting paid $25 an hour. I said hourly, I will do it. He's like, no, but you gave me price dollar. I'm like, I can't replace the tile for 1 hour for $1, right? Like you have to be reasonable. So Sometimes when you hire a handyman, for example, and you have touch-up items, you pay him hourly. Today would be 7,500 bucks an hour, right? But if you pay a roofer, or a cider, $25,000, and now there's tons of items around the house, like touch-ups, nail heads, like little things. I mean, they just take time. You go in, and the best practice is hold at least 5% from the contract until touch-up items are done. And if my contractor would tell me, what do you want me to do about it? I'm like, well, I want you to finish it and I'll pay 5%. Or you can walk away and I'll keep 5%. I'll do it myself. It's probably not a big deal. It's not a nightmare experience. It's just annoying to have, stupid things like that, stupid damage.
Yeah, it wasn't the description of the things that sound like they could have easily been addressed. It was his professionalism.
True.
It sounds like they hired cheap, fast handyman services and got what they paid for ultimately, because the guy's professionalism. Put it this way, the homeowner, that wasn't the first time they saw that red flag. If that's how the guy acted at the end, he was probably acting like that at the beginning, but they just thought, well, I'll deal with it just because he was a much lower price, and then they ultimately got what they were paying for.
This is a definition of the contractor who cut corners, and this is where good versus really good or bad. Unpainted drywall behind the fridge. The saying, what what do you do when nobody's watching?
Good for my house. Looks good for my house. I've heard that.
Yeah, actually,
I mean, this is a date in a van thing. This is date in a van or chuck in a truck thing. Like, I think this is a good argument here too of why the escrow service is out there with, with what we do or with what you do at the directory. And like as a contractor, I see this as being a comfort zone for myself and the homeowner. That's why I say we. But as a contractor, I was like, like if I have an escrow account where they put their money in, and then if something comes to blows in this situation, like we can bring in a third party to actually like say, hey, like, I mean, a referee or an umpire, somebody say, hey, listen, like, pay 95% and hold the 5% back, and then let's get the rest of it fixed. Like with your point there, I think it's a great argument to have a third party as escrow in these situations.
I think it also goes down to us reading the characters, the basic psychology. Uh, I think if you have Class A personality, you should only work with the Class A personalities in business, because if I guarantee you this contractor would be, a red flag from the day one if I would met him, because the contractor who you can kind of see the type. Contractor who will not paint behind the fridge will get away with anything, right? He's probably dressed a certain way, talks a certain way, his estimate will look the certain way. We know the type. It's kind of like,
yeah, he's the same guy that leaves 7 layers of felt on the roof.
maybe. I don't know. I mean, I'm telling you, this is you have to read people. You have to be good people reader, because you hire them, you think. And also another thing too, make sure the work standards are clearly stated in the contract. Because like things like, okay, we're painting stuff. Some contractors will even say, we'll do this, but we're not going to do. Like I was blown away, like absolutely blown away. 5-6 years ago, I hired a fence guy, and in his contract, it stated that they will not remove the dirt. Like, I'm like, what do you mean? So they added whole bunch of poles, and they dig whole bunch of dirt, clay, right, on my beautiful property, and they just left big pile of dirt. I'm like, what do you mean you're not gonna remove it? And it was in a contract. It wasn't a surprise. It's like, we don't do that. We just do fences. We come dig holes, and you take care of the dirt. I'm like, okay. At least it wasn't a surprise, right? Like if you set that expectation, is like, I do this, I don't do that, I can live with that as long as it's clear. In my contract, in my flooring business, I have to put that if you cannot see crack or damage 3 feet away, it's not considered to be damage. It's not considered to be cracked, because you walk on the floors, like there's tiny gaps, meaning we're not going to be on our fours with a
Microscope. Yeah,
with a
all right.
microscope looking at
Yeah.
the, damages and holes, because I can't fix your door jambs. I can't fix, like your baseboards. If you have a big gap in the wall and it just shows from the top, when, we're not going to go all the way down like, oh, look at this quarter-inch gap. There's nothing I can do about it. I actually have a director claim call today. The homeowner is not happy with the soffit repair. So the really reputable roofer, told her it's good enough. They can get it better, and she's worried that cricket, like someone like animal, will go into the gap like in her soffit. And the contractor says like, I'm a roofer, I'm not a handyman. They can't fix it. It pretty much says there's nothing we can do. This is good enough. So anyway, make sure the work standards are clearly stated in the contract. Any final words here, guys? It's a pretty clear story. So love the show, love sharing these stories. If you have a story you would like to share with us, my cell is 612-558-4881. Every week we're looking for stories. You can actually come. If you're in Minneapolis, you can come to our studio. We can interview you, and we can let you share your story publicly if you have dispute or tough situation with a contractor, or maybe a contractor, you want to share your story. Reach out and we'll be in touch. Thank you for tuning in, and I'll see you next Saturday.
If you're hiring a contractor and you're not using Directory.com, you're playing with fire. Every week, homeowners lose thousands to shady roofers. No warranty, no protection, no way to get their money back. Directory changes that. It's the only platform that backs your project with a $20,000 guarantee. Every contractor is vetted. Every job is covered. You wouldn't buy insurance after the accident. Don't hire a contractor without protection. Go to Directory.com before you sign anything. Protect your home. Protect your wallet.